Basement Politics, Unfiltered, with Freddy Vazquez. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, crime and contributions. Last episode, I talked about, or the last two episodes, I spoke about privileges, perks, and benefits. Tonight, I'm going to talk about crime and contributions. But first, I'm going to finish off what I was talking about the last episode regarding Liam McLaughlin, the Inspector General. And I'm also going to discuss the recent article that came out today in the Yonkers Tribune concerning Councilman John Rubbo and contributions. That's where the contributions comes in, from crime and contributions. I'm also going to talk about crime, the increase in crime, as well as the noticeable substance abuse issues that I have been seeing, and I'm sure many of you have been seeing here in the city, particularly in the downtown area. And this stemmed from yesterday. I was driving with my daughter, and we were coming from the downtown area, and we saw police and paramedics helping an individual who looked to be dead. I thought he was dead. Apparently, he was drunk, from what people said in the comments, but his body was limp. And I'll show you the video in a minute, but I thought he was dead. So I want to talk about that a little bit. But anyway, I want to recap. I'll go back to the last episode. Liam McLaughlin, Inspector General. Perks, benefits, and privileges. So again, the investigation into City Council President Mike Cater continues. A recent article in the Yonkers Tribune stated that according to Liam McLaughlin, that the judge found that there was merit in the investigation. However, the judge also squashed the subpoenas, but allowed for new subpoenas to be reissued. Why? Because Mike Cater's side apparently has not presented a case where the judge is saying there's nothing there, and the investigation. They prove without a shadow of a doubt that nothing was done. However, Liam McLaughlin, the experienced investigator, according to the article, hasn't proved or shown any evidence either of a reason for an investigation. And is it political pressure? And according to a letter that was sent again to Liam McLaughlin from the law firm Smith Bus Jacobs, who I'm going to show you in a little bit some of the contributions they've made to a particular committee for a better Yonkers a little bit in the episode, wrote a letter to Liam McLaughlin stating that city council members had called them up to let them know why they were investigating. One of the reasons was political pressure. Now, I think that should be investigated, right? I wanted to show you some of the McLaughlins who are currently working for the city. Is this, one of the perks, benefits, and privileges he is receiving, which is why he is continuing this investigation. We have Aaron. Oh, no, Aaron is not part of McLaughlin. Sorry, Aaron McKinney. Didn't mean to do that there to you, but you're getting pretty good paid pretty good, I should say. Andrew McLaughlin, Debbie McLaughlin, the wife of the Inspector General, Executive Assistant, Secretary, Corporate Counsel, raking in a whopping $112,000. Not bad. Devin McLaughlin, and there you see Liam again. Whoa, $169,000. Nice. Meredith McLaughlin, I'm not sure, is she? Police lieutenant. I don't want any problems with police. $222,000, and we have Patrick, labor supervisor, DPW, $123,000. What are the odds? What are the odds of getting one of these jobs, getting one of these positions? What are the odds? What are the odds of becoming a fireman or a police officer in the city of Yonkers. They're very slim. I'll tell you a story. I went out. I took the test in 2009. Apparently, my score of 85 wasn't good enough. I hear you have to get a 90. I did get a 98 for New York City. But anyway, what are the odds? So to have so many members, and these are not the only, um, elected officials that have multiple family members working for the city. So to have so many, it's got to be either some incredible luck or some assistance there. So could that be a reason why they're pushing for this investigation to continue? Anyway, the investigation that stemmed from a article by in the Yonkers Tribune. Yonkers Tribune. I want to show you really quick what he was what a judge determined or what a judge ruled in regards to the Yonkers Tribune. Judge rules that online blogger Hezi, journalist Tribune, is not a journalist. This stems from comments made regarding some Yonkers police officers, and then they filed the defamation lawsuit. And it seems like ever since then, Hezi's been kind of reporting a little differently, right? Just my opinion. Been pointing a little differently. And I'll show you what I mean. Here's an article by Hezi. Regards to the Spano clan. This is when Hezi had it out for the Spano. And I'll put that up here. Sorry, I had them all loaded up and then they went away. It's time for the residents of the city of Yonkers to show Mike Spano and his convicted brother, the former New York State Senator Nick Spano, the door. One has to ponder why the so-called Democratic mayor and the many and the many listed donors who support Mike Spano and the lockstepping single fates, and I might have read this, who will abide by his directive, whether given by Nick Spano, Lenny Spano. So you see how he was writing against them. You see that, right? Now he's writing against Mike Cater and anyone who opposes the power. He found a new punching bag. Well, I don't know if he found a new punching bag as if he was shown a new punching bag. Now that he was declared by a judge not to be a legitimate news source, lawsuits that for defamation are going to hurt him. So what do they say? Hey, now you have to work for us, right? Now you work for us. So this is the most recent Yonkers Tribune article came out today regarding Councilman Rubbo. Yonkers City Councilman John Rubbo, election campaign violations debunked for exceeding financial limits. So he's basically saying that whatever claims he made regarding contribution made to Councilman John Rubbo's campaign that were exceeding the listed limit. What are the limits? What are the limits for the primary and for the elections? I'm sorry, for the general elections. I'll show you. Not sure why all my stuff came off the computer here, but I'll show you. For the primaries, it's $1,000. District 4, I highlighted it for you. City Council, 4th Council District, although all of them are $1,000. That's for the primary. Now I'll show you what the general elections contribution limits are. And you see there, 4th Council District, $1,004. That's for both individual corporations. I should say for all three: individuals, corporations, and PACs. PACs are political action committees. So now, what are the contribution that were made to Councilman Rubbo, and for how much? There you have AMS one LLC for 2,000. That was 6/9/2021. Now I'll show you another one. I'll show you another one for 2,000. AMS contributions. I'm not sure why my all of my documents were cleared. Here we go. So we have 6/14/21, $2,000, AMS Group LLC, and we have June 9th, 2021, $2,000, AMS One LLC. That totals $4,000. It's two different entities, but it's the same people. It's the same person. It's the same owners. They just have multiple corporations so they can donate more. Technically, it's a loophole, but is it ethical? According to the Yonkers Board of Ethics, it is. He attacks Spano, then McLaughlin, YPD Union, now CCP. Now CCP, City Council President. Well, let's take a look at the Board of Ethics. Who are the Board of Ethics? Hmm? Who's on the Board of Ethics? Let's take a look. Let's start making some connections here. I'm painting a picture for you here. What's the highlight? The yellow highlight there. It's a gentleman by the name of Dennis Gallego. He's the secretary of the Board of Ethics. This is the board that has allowed Councilman Rubbo to continue as the chair of the real estate committee and planning committee, whatever you call it. Also, he's allowed to vote. What's the issue? Well, AMS, big time developers here who have spent millions, probably billions, in developing downtown waterfront area, and are also a landlord of Mr. Rubbo, allegedly. No, actually, they are his landlord over at the Trolley Barn at Yonkers Brewing. They also own 86 Main Street. They also purchased Chicken Island, which they will be developing with the help of the councilman through the real estate committee. They also are receiving tax breaks. Yonkers tax breaks. So why did the board not see an ethical issue here? Well, Mr. Dennis Gallego is a part of the system. He's a part of the machine. He's the secretary of the Board of Ethics. Who's his wife? They told him it was not an ethical issue. No, allegedly they told him it was not an ethical issue. Many others have said it is. No, yes, it's not an issue. It's not an issue in ethics. He doesn't have to recuse himself from voting. But the Board of Ethics, who the secretary is Dennis Gallego, his wife Roseanne is instrumental also in what's going on here in Yonkers. Who's his wife? Can you see that? That is the Committee for a Better Yonkers, who filer ID, treasurer name, Roseanne Gallego. Am I saying that correctly? Maybe not, but I don't care. You get the point. You get the point. Right? Who is the Committee for Better Yonkers? Well, they're the ones that attacked the city council president, Mike Cater. They funded the negative ads, the robocalls, the robo text messages, the psychological abuse to he and his family. And in my humble opinion, they all were in on it. But that's just my opinion. I'm nobody. Again, Roseanne Gallego, husband, Dennis Gallego, secretary of the Board of Ethics. Now you know why. Now you know why. Who contributes to the Committee for Better Yonkers? Who are the contribution people? Let's find out. Let's find out. What do we have here? This is campaign filings for the Committee of Better Yonkers. Well, what jumps at me right away is Harris Beach. Have you heard that before? Have I mentioned Harris Beach before? They're all over the place. Who else? Who else contributes to the Committee for Better Yonkers, which was filed by Roseanne Gallego, wife of Dennis Gallego, secretary of the Board of Ethics for Yonkers, the same Board of Ethics that believe it's ethical for Councilman Rubbo to chair the real estate committee, while his landlord, one of the biggest developers here, continues to build. Yet, no investigation by Mr. McLaughlin. There's plenty of merit there. Here's more of contribution filings by the Committee for Better Yonkers. Guess who else donated? Smith Bus Jacobs. Wow. What kind of game is going on here? Are you guys learning with me? I'm learning a lot. And by the way, I want to mention, and remember, if you're watching this show and you're following the podcast, take notes. Remember the names. PKF O'Connor Davies LLP. Remember the names. Remember the names. Smith Bus Jacobs donated to the Committee for Better Yonkers. And look what they did to you guys. Look what they did. They threw you in the mix. Because in politics, there is no friends. There is no loyalty. There is no honor among thieves. As a businessman, coming from the business world into politics, whoa. Whoa. And I thought business was bad. It's crazy to me is politics is about helping people, bettering people. But people have used it to better themselves. So I'm connecting dots here. I hope you're following. Another interesting fact about Roseanne. She was the front desk receptionist at New York State Senate, working for Senator Nicholas Spano. So you understand what's going on here? His former receptionist filed the paperwork to incorporate the Committee for a Better Yonkers, which has been heavily funded by the developers who are developing Yonkers, who attacked the city council president during the primaries, who supported some of the candidates that won. Which candidates did they support? Are you okay with that? Connecting dots. I'm trying. I hope people are taking notes. I know I am. I know I am. Foil and have them put it in writing that it is not an ethical issue. Don't hold your breath waiting for a reply. Yeah, that's what I hear. Good luck with that. Help themselves. The ones that got kickbacks from them. Okay, so why do you think that Liam McLaughlin is continuing this investigation? They're attacking Mike Cater from all angles. From all angles. They attacked him during the primaries using the Committee for Better Yonkers. Many of you got robocalls. Some of you got robotexts. I know his wife received some crazy text messages. Horrible. And now they're attacking him through this bogus investigation based on some quid quo pro when you have so much in regards to this councilman for the 4th district in terms of quid quo pro and others and yourself, Liam. You're going to have to investigate yourself. Is that possible? Who's the independent law firm that's investigating the Mike Cater? Anybody know? And they all got IDA money. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the way it works is if you're a developer and you want to develop in Yonkers, I highly recommend that you seek out the services of Empire Strategic Planning. Okay, don't be shy. Give them a call. One of the actually they have a representative here in Yonkers. The office is what's the address at City Hall? Is it 20? No, it's not 20 City Hall. 20 South Broadway. His office is in City Hall. His name is James Kavanaugh. He is one of the what do you call those, lobbyists, and also a partner. And he's also the president of the YIDA. So he'll hook you up with YIDA money. Of course, the chairman of the YIDA and the executive director are going to agree. Of course. Of course. Mike Cater never took nothing and didn't play by their rules. He was for the people of Yonkers. Right. Right. I mean, folks, listen, especially for all those who screamed about the housing ordinance. Okay. Mike Cater introduced that first. So you guys should have supported him through and through because he supported that all the way. All the way. And he continues to make the less popular decisions. Think about that. So if you supported the ordinance and you were really pissed off, who did you vote for? Who did you vote for? Think about that. Cater was a threat, and they are still trying to neutralize him. They want to make sure he doesn't come back to win for mayor. Well, I don't know. The way things are looking, he has a great chance. I think, personally, that's just my opinion. Put it all out there. Put it all out there. Who are you going to vote for? John Corazon? Anthony Moranti? Mike Breen? Ron Matton? Vinny Spano? Liam McLaughlin? Who are you going to vote for, Yonkers, when the mayor's race is here? Because they're going to start campaigning very soon. Very soon. You're going to see. There's going to be a whole lot of fighting for those city council positions. This administration gives a whole new meaning. Corruption at its best. Pay to play is a lie. It surely is. I mean, look. Did I show you anything that says, hey, they are doing pay to play for sure without a shadow of a doubt? No. But at the very least, it warrants an inquiry. Given the fact that they looked into the quid quo pro case or investigation, that's going on Mike Cater, based on that, you would think that there'd be a whole lot of inquiries and investigations going on. They making themselves hot. Y'all making yourselves hot. Y'all should leave him alone. At this point, leave Mike Cater alone because you're making yourself hot. You're making it hot. Leave him alone. Mike had all the union building trades behind him. He was a voice for Yonkers people. Didn't want to see that. Right. I mean, we're talking about local labor not getting any jobs on these developments. He was for that. He was for the PLAs. They don't want that. These guys only care about their developer friends. That's it. They're developing Yonkers at an extremely fast rate. To me, and look, I'm no expert, but it makes no rhyme and it has no rhyme and reason. Like, it's how do you develop all these buildings so quickly in such a small area? On Buena Vista over there, I mean, there's a 600 unit building going up by AMS. The one that I believe Mr. Sabatino is involved in through King's Capital Construction, literally going up on the corner of Prospect and Buena Vista. Big Regency building. Like, have they done traffic studies? I haven't heard anything about traffic studies in any of these meetings. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. And we have to show more support. We have to show more support to the right candidates, to the right elected officials, Yonkers, and we have to see this. And I'm only showing you this because when it comes time to vote, I hope that you have a better understanding of who to vote for. So, again, I put that out there. You saw the contributions made by the developers. You saw who started the Committee for a Better Yonkers. The lady Roseanne Gallego, whatever her name is, her husband Dennis, who's on the Board of Ethics, who's allowing Rubbo to remain on the real estate chair or the real estate committee as the chair, knowing that his landlords are some of the biggest developers out here. They're buying up property, getting deals on them, YIDA money. All that is going to hurt us. It's going to come back to us. And again, if you have a 3-family or more, expect an additional tax. You're going to get treated like one of these developers. That's a way for them to supplement the lack of funding they're going to get in taxes because of the tax breaks. All non-union, they don't pay prevailing wages. I'm sure they're not making the money they should. Of course. Of course, these guys care about their profit margins. That's what it's all about. And you see the perks, privileges, and benefits. What are they? What are they? Jobs with the city. You saw how many McLaughlins were there. God knows how many Spanos. 2 Pinedas. They get on these boards and then they give their developer friends, landlords, buddies, kickbacks, consulting firms that says it on their webpage. Nick Spano's consulting firm says, we help you build relationships with elected officials. His brother's the mayor. I mean, it can't get no, "Hey, it's my brother. How you doing? Hey, I'm a developer. Hey, I got a lot of money. Yeah, how much you gonna right? Come on. Come on. At the very least, there needs to be some kind of oversight, independent oversight. There needs to be some inquiry, and they need to make sure that everything is on the up and up and that there isn't any potential for corruption or unethical practices. And making sure that anything that is being done, any decisions that are being made, are in the best interest of the city and the people of the city of Yonkers. I can't fully have faith and trust in the council. I'm sorry. I don't. I don't have faith. I don't have faith in them. Not one bit. Not one bit. Time for a change. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. Are you starting to get the picture? Are you starting to get the picture? It's time for a change. Definitely time for a change. Anyway, going to the crime part of today's podcast. Yesterday, I was with my daughter. I was driving on Nepperhan just before I got to Elm Street, where I saw police and ambulances assisting a gentleman. As I got a better look, I saw a man on the floor who appeared to be dead. He appeared to be dead. So I wanted to share that video, first of all, with you and then talk about it a little bit because it was quite the scene. Quite the scene. Well, thought I had it here. Everything kind of got erased. The gentleman apparently is known by many people in the area to drink a lot, drink heavily, which caused him to pass out, drunk to the point where he looked dead. He literally looked dead, and I'm going to share that with you here. Is he dead? He's limp. His body is limp. They're trying to get him up, but his body's limp. His head just rolled forward. Appears that he is either dead or unconscious. This is on Elm Street and Nepperhan. This is what. Well, that was kind of scary. The gentleman there, from what I understand, is often found drunk on the floor in the area, passed out, but he looked dead. It's scary, and I'll tell you, uh, you know, many years ago when we bought our first home, we lived on Riverdale, right there on Riverdale and Prospect. And my wife and daughter had went to the Burger King on that corner there, and she was coming back home with my daughter, and there was a homeless man on the floor. And my daughter said, "Mom, look, a dead body." And my wife came home that night and said, "We got to get out of here." And that was what said, "Liz, I got to get on it." And then we bought our first house. But that's scary because many children walk through that area. That's over there by the Nodine Hill, Elm Street, part of District 2, I believe, but it's also near District 1 as well. That's an area that's been plagued by violence for a very long time now. And I wanted to show a little bit about a little bit of crime statistics here in Yonkers. That's Councilwoman Pineda Corazon Pineda. She is the majority leader of the city council, and that area has not changed much. That area has not changed much. And in fact, they recently finished the development of a affordable housing building there with supposedly a community center that received $1 million grant to renovate the church that was on the corner of Walnut and Elm Street. I saw a news video, a news clip that it was open. It was completed a while back. However, if you pass by there, you'll still see has construction tape around it. The front of it has construction equipment, and I believe there may or may not be people working there, but it's not open. That's also near the area where the car recently crashed after a police pursuit. The man apparently was sought after by New York City police for murder. Let's take a look at the crimes here. Shooting incidents, shooting victims and individuals killed 2021, Yonkers. Shooting incidents involving injury. 2020, there was a total of 23. Well, 2021, we're down. We have 19 so far. Well, that goes up to the month of October, actually. So that could be more. That was the most recent I can find. On average, a 5-year average, there were 21 shootings, shooting incidents. So we're actually not too far. We might actually have surpassed the 5-year average. Shooting victims, persons hit. 2020, there were 25 people hit by bullets. In 2021, there were 29. Now, check this out. There were 23 shootings, right? And this is up to October of this year. There were 23 shootings in 2020. In 2021, there were 19 up to October, but there were more people hit. So more people were hit in incidents. And that may be also including the statistic for the shooting that took place on Elm Street, right there at Elm Street in Oak, where 4 individuals were shot at one time in one shooting incident. So there are more people hit this year than last year, and that number is probably up. And I want to mention this because politicians, and some people like to call them elected officials, whatever term you choose to use, makes no difference to me. They love to swear up and down that things have gotten better. But I tell you, they are not. In fact, individuals killed by gun violence, and this is up until October 2021, there have been 4. Last year, there were 6. 5-year average is 3. We're at 4, but we're probably more, and we're surpassing the 5-year average there. And in fact, individuals killed by gun violence, you see here, from 2011 to 2020. So we're looking at 2011 numbers, 5 in 2011, 2026, 2021. Here it says 4, but that's up to October. It could be more. So we're not doing good. We're actually doing as bad as we were back in 2011. So it seems to be crime. And yes, they like to say that it's happening nationwide, but that is just an excuse. That is a way to mask it. That is a way to make it sound better. Oh, it's nationwide. It's nationwide. It's like with the homelessness thing. It's always been nationwide. Shootings happen everywhere, all across the country, always. When has it not been nationwide? Whether it's increased, decreased, whatever. The point is, we're Yonkers. You have to focus on Yonkers, okay? And how do we lower this? How do we decrease the crime? How do we, particularly because decrease the crime within the youth? We have to target the youth because that's where a lot of the shootings have been stemming from recently. So I want to make note of that. And again, one of the areas that's been most hard hit, I should say, in regards to violence and shootings is District 2, that No Dine Hill area, Elm Street area, where you saw the gentleman there at the bottom. And I'm going to just give you a little bit of, I want to put this up, shows a map of the shootings, but it also includes assaults. The fist, that's the assaults. The shooting is the targets. I like the way that they use the little, what do you call it, the key. Little. Anyway, so you see where they're primarily located. Southwest Yonkers. And if I was able to zoom in, you would see that they're located near District 2. Again, District 2 and District 1. District 1 has an issue with homelessness, District 2 as well, but District 2 has had a lot of violent crimes, particularly with guns. So we have to take care of that. We have to do something. You're bringing in all these developments. You expect people to come from where? In fact, statistically, you're more likely to be involved in a crime or be the victim of a crime, I should say, here in Yonkers than in New York City. Think about that before you think about moving here. There are no programs. Our schools are horrible. They took away the DARE program. We need to wake up, Yonkers, and get out and vote for a real candidates. That is absolutely correct. For candidates who want to better Yonkers, not want to better themselves. We need people that are from the community, in the community. Not saying that they live there, but they don't. Councilwoman Diaz helped Rubbo derail affordable housing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was horrible because you claim to be the champion of people who need affordable and low-income housing. And you derailed it. And it was all part of the plan. And Tasha, I tell you, they threw you under the bus. They chose you, of all people. They weren't going to throw corazón. They love her. I can tell. The mayor, if you see how many times he comes out to all her stuff. And I would bet a lot of money that she's the one they're going to tap to be the next mayor. That's just my guess. But folks, judge people by their track record. Do I need to put this up again? Do you want this to look like the entire city? Go ahead and vote for District 2 leaders into mayor position. And you're going to see that cover up the entire map. Remember, I told you that. So we have to hold these elected officials accountable. Stop believing in the nonsense that they're giving us. Look at the statistics. Look at the numbers. Crime is at an all-time high. And I don't care if it's nationwide. We're in Yonkers. You have to focus on Yonkers. What is the plan? Because a lot of these meetings, a lot of these council meetings consist of real estate stuff. Always some real estate stuff. Or who are we going to appoint? Or we want to appoint this person to a board. This person was here. Now we're going to move them there. All those in favor? Yay, 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 yay. Rubber stamped. Approved. Whatever happened to the Sam Borelli thing in the building department? Michael Rappi, whatever happened to my plans you were supposed to look over? Jeez. If I was a developer, forget it. I would have everything good, top notch. Would have went through fast. So, folks, we have to think about this. This is important, and I appreciate those that are, complimenting me. And I love that they're saying that you're speaking the truth, and that just tells me that you do want to hear it, and you want to see the change. So I'm putting it out there. I'm putting the information out there, and I'm going to continue to put it out there. I'm going to continue to highlight who the individuals are that continue to get voted in or that continue to get appointed into these different positions within our city that make decisions that impact us all. All right? We have to get out and vote. 20,000 people in a city that's now the third largest in the state of New York with over 212,000 people. 20,000 people for a citywide race is horrible. So you have to take responsibility. So now I'm going to point the blame and put it on you a little bit. You need to come out and vote. You need to get involved. Otherwise, you can't complain. And it's going to change in a way you're not going to like. And your next thing is going to say, well, I got to get out of here. Really? You just leave? You got to stop that. We got to stand up. We got to go out and vote. Next elections, we got to see more. Citywide race for this mayor election coming up. If there's 212,000 people in this city, you better see at least 40, 50,000 people come out and vote. All right. And if anyone mentions a fourth term extension, anyone in the council, anyone, make sure you let them know we not having that. And I'm letting you know, I'll be the first one up at City Hall with the sign. We not having that. We not having no fourth time, no fourth term, no way. No more of the connection. Go ahead, ride it out. Ride this thing on out. That's it. Ride it on now. But we're not having no fourth extension. No fourth term. That's it. There's term limits for a reason, people. Think about it. Logically, there's a reason why they implemented term limits to begin with. To override term limits is to go against the purpose of term limits. Doesn't make sense. It's like saying, hey, we have these red lights here, but let's vote to go ahead and you can go through the red lights now. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So no fourth term. We need to have new. We need to get out and vote. We need to get involved. Latinos. mis latinos, necesitamos salir. Necesitamos a tenerlos más involved. And I'm sorry that I don't speak Spanish well, but I know that my Latinos play an important role in the city here. There's a lot of us. Somos muchos. Necesitamos hacer más. Tenemos que hacer más. We got to help others. And if you're if you're a citizen, whether natural, if you receive your documents, you got to help your fellow Latino who are here, that are not documented, that need to get their paper. They're here now. We got to listen. You're here. Let's get the paperwork. Let's get you, acclimated, and let's get out there and let's do the right thing. Let's vote. This is our city. It doesn't matter, Latino, Black, Irish, Italian, Arabic. We're all one at the end of the day. We're all from Yonkers. But we all need to come out. We need to step up. And I say that for the Latinos because I'm Puerto Rican. There's a lot of Latinos here in Yonkers, and I want to see more. I want to see more. Rochester, 205,077 population, 852 officers. Yonkers, 201,344 population, 600 officers. Approximately, the mayor is busy disbanding specialized police units. He is not hiring enough cops. Meanwhile, developments going on all over Yonkers. Well, maybe he's not hiring cops because they're wasting all their money on overtime. And listen, I'm not trying to knock nobody's hustle. Don't pull me over. I'm not trying to knock your hustle. I'm just saying that according to the New York State Comptroller's Office, on multiple audits of Yonkers city budget, one of the consistent findings is that they're going over budget on police overtime by $3 and $4 million every year. Not just police, but fire department overtime. Maybe you got to hire more so you give less overtime, because I believe overtime, you get more, right? You get time and a half. So it's then a smart idea to hire more, less overtime. Guys are not as exhausted. Although, I don't know, So that's one of the findings. If you go onto the the New York State Comptroller's page and you look at the audits, you'll see there one of the key findings is that Yonkers continues to go over on its police and fire overtime budget by $3 and $4 million every year. What they recommend is not to. They also recommend that Yonkers try to be more self-sufficient, self-sustaining. They rely too much on federal money. But aren't these developers supposed to be bringing in all this revenue? Why do we continue to rely on the federal government? If it were not for the federal government to give us the money and the aid that they do, forget it, Yonkers would be done. Where's the money going? These developers are supposed to be benefiting the city economically through the revenue that they bring into the city, also by job creation. But as you saw in the video that I played on the last episode with that Regency development going up on Buena Vista, they're going to retain a total of 5 or 6 jobs, 100 and some construction temporary jobs, which will probably come from construction workers from Tennessee or somewhere, Texas, not from Yonkers or Westchester, that's for sure. Right? And then they retain 5 or 6 of those jobs. And what is that revenue? Where's that revenue coming? These are renters. They're not bringing in property taxes. Remember that. Keep allowing this to happen, folks. Keep allowing it to happen. Melinda Cobb, I had to just put what is this? Vark Tech. Do you want me to shout you out? I don't know what that is. Not going to happen. What's not going to happen? What's not going to happen? 4th term? I hope not. 4th term. It's not going to happen. No 4th term. I'm with you. I'm with you. The people don't want it. A lot of people are just scared to talk. A lot of people are just afraid to say. They're coming to me. A lot of people are. Why are people scared to say something? Why? Why are people scared? Why are people afraid? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. One of the questions I ask, I keep asking people when they say, be careful, be careful. They tell me to be careful. I said, well, what are they going to do? Should I worry about people coming with guns? They say my wife works in a school. She's an assistant principal. She could lose her job. Imagine that. Imagine she got fired because of me. Imagine that. I could use a lawsuit. They need to stop accepting crumbs and demand meaningful long-term changes. Turkeys, toys, pantries are all helpful, but not addressing the real issue. And that's true. And I appreciate it. The handouts are great, but a handout is about continuing to make you dependent. And I'll go back to something I've mentioned, I'm sure, before, right? You can give someone a fish and they'll eat for that day, but you can teach them how to fish and they'll eat forever. They're not teaching you how to fish. They're not teaching us. They're not teaching us how to fish. They don't want us to eat right. All Yonkers departments go over budget. Smiling Mike and the department's heads, even when facing $100 million deficit before another bailout, had no plan to cut back on spending. I mean, it'd be one thing if that spending was going towards education, improving the community rather than relying on developers to do it, right? Let's go over budget because we beautified the city and we didn't rely on developers. We did it on our own, right? We did it on our own. If we truly managed the city right, if the city was truly managed correctly, trust me, you wouldn't need to rely so much on federal money, and you can make this place beautiful for the people here and the businesses here. And the businesses here. By the way, I was up in Ridge Hill. That place is a mess. That place is a mess. And it's starting to double park. I hate double parking. People double park. I mean, come on, you're not supposed to be parked in those places. And then on top of that, someone comes and double park. It's a mess. It's crazy. And really, what's going on here? Does anyone from Yonkers actually shop at Ridge Hill? How many people actually go to Ridge Hill? People actually go? Or is that just a bunch of people from other places? So we have to demand more. We have to demand better. We have to come out. We have to be more involved. We have to make sure that when things like third terms or fourth terms come up, we vote no. You don't want to say nothing publicly? Cool. Say it at the poll. Say it at the poll. But you have to come out. We have to vote. 212,000 people and only 20 for a citywide race is not, it's horrible. They will get on the ballot if they can't overturn. Then no one will want to run and they will put Mickey Mouse as the opponent. They will extort, bribe, and intimidate. Too much at stake. They don't trust anyone and won't put the city in the hands of Corazon, Rubbo, or Sage. Then who? Then who? Who will they put it in? So you think they're going to do a fourth term? That's what the whole third term was about, making sure that we continue here to see the progress of the development or the progress of the money coming in under the table. Make sure it doesn't get stuck to the gum. Who's the next mayor? This is what it's all about, folks. As much as, I've mentioned different things, Liam, John, Harris Beach, Smith Bus Jacobs, Councilman, City Council President Mike Cater. At the end of the day, what this is all about is the scramble for the mayor's seat. We're talking about a city that receives $1.4 billion. Its budget is $1.4 billion. Think about this. Westchester County's budget is $1.7 billion. Yonkers is $1.4. Almost as much as the county. It's also about the developers that are still developing, developers that are still looking to get in here and develop whatever is left. And whatever money can be made before the money runs out. Build back better. Folks, I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week. Have a blessed week. And remember, take notes. Remember what I said. Remember the players. I'm connecting the dots. Oh, I got some more comments. Are we the people and taxpayers better off now than 4 years ago? I think not. Developers aren't rich for sure. Yes. You're absolutely right. Look at the crime statistics. Crime is up. Look at Getty Square. Even when I was a kid and I was growing up poor, Getty Square didn't look like that. Elm Street didn't look like that. That's Nightmare on Elm Street. Except I'm not Freddy Krueger. Take John Rubbo. He bonded $250,000 for a dog park outside the Spreckman building. Meanwhile, there were several seniors who fell inside due to despair and non-compliance issues. Ooh, sorry to hear that. Be careful going to the building department or to pay a ticket. Those stairs are rough. You might hurt yourself. And all you lawsuit guys, those who seek lawsuits, that's a perfect place to go get a lawsuit. Go do your scam over there. That place is all a mess. But yes, we need to change. We cannot have the same. And many say that the mayor will seek a fourth term. If not, at the very least, put a puppet in place that will do the mayor's bidding. The city or the Committee for Better Yonkers is a PAC, Political Action Committee, that's funded by Nick Spano and developers. Their goal is to have gotten their candidates in. So think about who they supported and who the city or the Committee for Better Yonkers attacked. Think about who filed for it and where her husband works. Ironic. The Board of Ethics. Oh, man. Anyway, folks, have a great night. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the great compliments. Thank you for watching. Please share. And by the way, if you want to watch anonymously and comment live as the show goes on anonymously, then create a Gmail account. Go onto YouTube and you can watch live. You create a fake account. Say, I hate basement politics at gmail.com or I love basement politics at gmail.com. And you can do all the commenting you want. No one will know who you are. You can watch anonymously. Come on, because I've been hearing people say, well, you can't comment anonymously. You need to make it so. Well, that's how you can do it. I want to hear all the comments. So for those who just are not sure if they want to comment and show who they are, there's your way to do it. You can watch live on YouTube. You can create a fake account, a Gmail account, and log on and watch Basement Politics. Again, I'm Freddy Vazquez. Thank you for watching me. I'll be on next week. Have a blessed week. Have a productive week. Remember, no fourth term. No fourth term. No fourth term. Let me hear you. No fourth term. Come on now. Absolutely. The people need a pack. Stay tuned. Happy birthday to everyone who celebrated a birthday this weekend. Happy birthday from Freddy Vazquez and Basement Politics. Thank you for watching, folks.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad for your back.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vazquez.
Game over.